There comes a time, chosen one, when the world begins to shift around you, not because it has changed, but because you have. The energy within you, once dormant or overlooked, has now begun to stir like an ember catching fire. You feel it, this unseen yet undeniable force that pulses through your being, commanding attention without words. This is your awakening. What you're experiencing is not mere attraction, nor is it something to be carelessly wielded. It is power. A force far older than flesh, woven into the very essence of creation itself. This energy is neither good nor evil. It is simply potent. It courses through you, shaping the way the world perceives you, drawing others toward you with an intensity they cannot explain. They feel it in the way you move, in the way you breathe, in the way your presence lingers long after you have left a room. There is a reason why your presence has become impossible to ignore. Women sense something in you that transcends the surface, something that calls to them on a level deeper than logic. This energy is not simply physical. No, it is something far greater. It is a signature of the spirit, an undeniable mark of one who has begun to wake up to their own potential. But with awakening comes responsibility. Chosen one, you must understand the nature of this force. Unchecked, it can burn too brightly, overwhelming those around you, even repelling those who do not yet understand it. But honed, mastered, and carried with wisdom, it becomes something else entirely, a guiding light, a magnetic force that elevates rather than consumes. You are stepping into a reality where energy is currency, where presence is power, where your very existence sends ripples through the lives of those around you. Do not let this awakening pass you by unnoticed. Step forward with intention, for your journey has only just begun. The eyes are the gateway to the soul, and yours, chosen one, have begun to open in a way that others cannot ignore. You may have noticed the shift, the way conversations pause when you meet someone's gaze, the way their breath catches for a moment longer than it should. It is not mere coincidence, nor is it something you have fabricated in your mind. Your eyes carry something rare now. There is depth behind them, an unseen force that speaks volumes before a single word is uttered. Women do not simply see your gaze, they feel it. It touches them in ways they do not fully comprehend, as if unlocking something long buried within them. Some react with curiosity, others with intrigue, and a few with trepidation, for they sense the truth. You are not like the others, but a gaze is more than just a tool of attraction. It is a conduit of power, a silent language of intent. It reveals more than words ever could, for it carries the weight of your awareness, your desires, your purpose. Your eye contact is becoming irresistible, not merely because of its intensity, but because of what it conveys. There is no hesitation, no wavering, no fear. There is presence, pure, unwavering presence. Understand this well, chosen one. When you look into another's eyes, you are not just observing them, you are reaching into them. You are leaving an imprint, however subtle, on their very spirit. This is not something to be taken lightly. To lock eyes with another is to share something sacred, to acknowledge a truth that exists beyond spoken language. And so as you walk this path, let your gaze be a mirror of your own mastery. Let it reflect your strength, but also your kindness, your wisdom, but also your humility. Let it be a tool of connection rather than dominance, a force that lifts rather than overwhelms. Your eyes have become a beacon, chosen one, but the light they emit must be steady, not blinding. Look upon the world with intent, and the world will respond in kind. There is an undeniable truth that comes with great energy, chosen one, a truth many fail to grasp, a truth that separates the masters from the reckless. That truth is balance. Your high sexual energy is a fire, and fire must be contained within the right vessel or it will burn out of control. It is easy to let it dictate your actions, to revel in the magnetic pull you now exert, to let your presence overwhelm those drawn to you. But if you do, you will find that what was once a gift becomes a burden. What was once an irresistible force turns into something chaotic and destructive. Your energy is like a current, constantly flowing, constantly seeking release. If left unchecked, it will dictate your thoughts, your interactions, and even the way you carry yourself, making you reactive instead of intentional. You have surely seen this in others, men whose presence is suffocating, whose desires spill forth without refinement, whose need for validation makes them weak despite their outward confidence. You, chosen one, are not like them. You are something more. To walk the path of balance is to recognize your own strength without becoming a prisoner to it. It is to know that attraction is not control, that presence is not pressure, that just because you can stir desire in others does not mean you must. You will feel the pull when eyes linger on you longer than before, when conversations take on an unspoken weight, when women stand a little closer, breathe a little heavier, shift their energy subtly toward you. You will feel the moment when they begin to fall into your gravity. But the question is not whether you can bring them closer. The question is whether you should. Power without discipline is like a river without banks, spilling over and destroying everything in its path. Mastery, chosen one, is not in taking, but in knowing when to hold back. It is in knowing that attraction alone is not enough, that desire is fleeting without purpose. You must learn to let the energy move without losing yourself in it. This is where the greatest challenge lies, not in the gaining of power, but in its refinement. Many seek to amplify their presence, to sharpen their aura, to make themselves more attractive, more dominant, more desired. Few, however, understand that the true secret is in the restraint, in the ability to walk into a room and command attention, not because you demand it, but because your energy is controlled. The air around you does not roar, it hums, steady and unwavering. There will be moments when you will be tempted to lean into this power too much, to push the boundaries, to see just how far your energy can take you. But do not fall into that trap, chosen one. The ones who chase recklessly, the ones who wield their power without care, always find themselves empty in the end. For power that is not grounded eventually turns to dust. Instead, cultivate stillness. Learn to hold your energy in check, to let it simmer beneath the surface rather than spill out chaotically. Women are not drawn to recklessness. They are drawn to mystery, to depth, to a presence that is felt rather than flaunted. Let them sense your strength rather than be overwhelmed by it. Let them wonder about the fire beneath your calm exterior rather than be burned by it. And so, walk this path of balance, chosen one. Let your energy be neither suppressed nor unleashed without purpose. Master it, refine it, let it exist in harmony with your mind and spirit. For only when you have mastered yourself will you truly master the world around you. There is something undeniable about the way the air shifts when you enter a space, chosen one. It is not arrogance that makes you notice it, nor is it mere vanity that makes others react. It is the natural consequence of a force being felt. The aura you carry is no longer something passive. It moves, it breathes, it extends outward beyond your physical body, shaping the way people respond to you. Your energy is not just within you. It is around you. It colors the space you occupy, influencing the atmosphere even before a single word is spoken. You have seen the way others instinctively adjust to your presence, the way conversations pause when you walk by, the way attention shifts subtly in your direction, the way some are drawn in while others become nervous, uncertain of what they are sensing. This is not something to take lightly. An aura like yours is felt on a level deeper than conscious thought. It bypasses words, bypasses logic, reaches directly into the instincts of those around you. Women, in particular, are highly attuned to this. They may not always be able to explain what they feel, but they will respond to it. Some will be intrigued, inexplicably drawn toward the force you carry. They will lean in, their movements becoming softer, more fluid, their words slowing as if savoring the moment. Others may become restless, fidgeting in your presence, unable to meet your gaze for too long because they feel something they cannot define. And then there are those who will be overwhelmed, stepping back, averting their eyes, as if the intensity is too much. All of these reactions are natural. Chosen one. Do not take them personally. Do not allow yourself to be swayed by validation or rejection, for neither defines you. Your aura does not exist to be liked by all. It exists because you have cultivated it, because your energy has reached a point where it can no longer be ignored. But here is where true mastery comes in. The aura you cast must not only be powerful, it must be welcoming. Presence without warmth becomes intimidating. Strength without softness becomes oppressive. And if you allow your energy to become too heavy, too sharp, too imposing, you will repel more than you attract. This is where intention becomes key. You must learn to control the tone of your energy, to shift it based on the situation, to make it an invitation rather than a forceful wave. This is not about suppressing who you are, but about refining how you affect others. If you wish to be truly irresistible, truly magnetic, you must learn to make others feel good in your presence. Not just intrigued, not just curious, but comfortable, safe, understood. This is what sets apart those who merely demand attention from those who naturally draw others in. It is not enough to be noticed. You must become the kind of presence that lingers in the minds of others long after you are gone. The kind of energy that makes them wonder why they felt so at ease, why they found themselves opening up without meaning to, why their heart beat just a little faster when you spoke. To do this, chosen one, you must cultivate not just strength, but grace. Not just magnetism, but warmth. Not just dominance, but depth. Your aura must not only be felt, it must be inviting. And so, be mindful of the space you create with your presence. Be aware of how your energy affects those around you. Let it be a force that does not just command attention, but elevates those in its wake. Let it be something that does not just draw people in, but makes them want to stay. For in the end, true power is not in how many you attract, it is in how many are moved by your presence. There is an art to connection, chosen one, a delicate interplay of energy, presence, and understanding. It is not enough to attract, not enough to hold the attention of those drawn to you. True connection goes beyond the surface, beyond desire, beyond the unspoken tension that lingers between glances and proximity. It is not built on fleeting moments, but on something deeper, something undeniable, something real. You have seen how the world responds to your presence, the subtle shifts in posture, the stolen glances, the way conversations slow when you speak as if the air itself is adjusting to accommodate you. But do not mistake these reactions for connection. Attraction is an invitation, not a destination. It is the spark, not the fire. To truly connect, to truly leave a mark on those who enter your orbit, you must master the art of presence. Presence is not just being there. It is being felt. It is the act of listening with your entire being, of engaging with absolute focus, of allowing those before you to feel seen, not just observed. Women are not drawn to men who merely command attention. They are drawn to those who make them feel understood. In a world full of noise, full of distractions, full of men who listen only to respond, you must be different. You must listen to feel. There is a reason why your gaze has become powerful, why your energy now carries weight. It is because you have tapped into something raw, something primal, something few men ever master. But this energy, unchecked, can become overpowering. Without refinement, it can create an aura that is suffocating rather than alluring. And so the question arises, how do you wield it without overwhelming? How do you connect without consuming? The answer lies in respect. Not the surface-level respect of polite words and expected gestures, but something much deeper, something instinctual. It is a respect that goes beyond what is spoken, beyond what is visible. It is a felt respect, an unspoken acknowledgement that you see the person before you as human first, before attraction, before desire, before anything else. When you engage with a woman, let her feel this truth. Let her sense that she is not just another fleeting interaction, not just another name in a list of conquests. Let her feel, in the depth of your gaze and the steadiness of your presence, that she is worthy of your time, your attention, your understanding, not because of how she looks or what she offers, but simply because she is. This is where many fail. They wield their energy as a weapon, a tool for conquest rather than communion. They mistake dominance for depth, forgetting that true power is not in control, but in the ability to make others feel safe in your presence. There is a shift that happens when a woman senses genuine respect. Her guard lowers, her words become more fluid, her body language softens, not because she's being seduced, but because she feels safe enough to be herself. This is the foundation of true connection. And so, chosen one, let your energy not just be felt, but trusted. Let your presence not just be strong, but welcoming. Let every connection you form be built on respect, for it is the only foundation that will ever hold. The greatest battle you will ever fight, chosen one, is not against the world. It is not against the expectations placed upon you, not against the distractions that seek to pull you from your path. It is within you. Power, true power, is not in how the world reacts to you. It is not in the attention you command, not in the desire you stir, not in the way others adjust themselves to accommodate your presence. True power is in self-mastery, in the ability to stand unshaken, unmoved, untouched by the chaos that surrounds you. There is a temptation, once you have awakened to your own energy, to lose yourself in it, to chase the thrill of being noticed, of being sought after, of feeling the undeniable pull of attraction working in your favor. But if you are not careful, you will become a slave to that very energy, mistaking external validation for true strength. This is where mastery begins, not in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. Discipline is the foundation. Without it, power becomes recklessness, presence becomes arrogance, and attraction becomes manipulation. You must learn to control the force that now moves within you, to channel it with intention rather than impulse. Your energy must be a steady flame, not a wildfire that burns uncontrollably. Mastery begins with the mind. The thoughts you entertain shape the energy you emit. If your mind is restless, if your spirit is uncentered, your aura will reflect that instability. A man who lacks control over his own mind cannot hope to control the way his energy is received. Ground yourself, chosen one. Find practices that strengthen your discipline. Whether through meditation, physical training, creative expression, or solitude, you must cultivate habits that keep you anchored. Your energy will only grow stronger, and without discipline, it will consume you. But self-mastery is not just about control. It is also about understanding. You must come to know yourself in ways few ever do. You must understand your desires, your fears, your weaknesses, and your strengths. You must confront the parts of yourself that seek validation, that crave attention, that are tempted by the ease of superficial conquest. There is a difference between being wanted and being worthy. Many men chase the former, content with the fleeting thrill of being desired. Few pursue the latter, choosing instead to cultivate a depth that does not waver with external circumstances. You must be among the few. A man who has mastered himself does not seek approval, for he is already complete. He does not chase, for he understands that what is meant for him will come in time. He does not allow fleeting emotions to dictate his actions, for he operates from intention, not impulse. And this, chosen one, is what makes you truly powerful. Not just the energy you carry, not just the presence you exude, but the unshakable foundation of who you are. Women, the world, the very fabric of existence itself, respond to those who are centered, to those who do not grasp at validation, but radiate a presence so unwavering that others cannot help but be drawn in. This is the path you walk now. Not the path of external conquest, but the path of internal mastery. And in this mastery you will find something greater than attraction, greater than admiration, no greater than fleeting desire. You will find peace. And once you have that, chosen one, there is nothing that can take it from you. There is a hidden weight that comes with power, chosen one. It does not announce itself loudly, nor does it demand immediate recognition. Instead, it settles into your life like an unseen force, growing with each step you take toward mastery. This weight is responsibility, and if you do not acknowledge it, it will crush you under its silent, relentless pressure. With great energy comes great attraction, and with great attraction comes great temptation. You will be tested. Not by external enemies, not by those who doubt you, but by the very power you now wield. The world will begin to bend to your presence. Women will feel drawn to you. Opportunities will appear where before there were none. But with these temptations comes the greatest challenge of all, restraint. There will be moments when you will feel the urge to indulge in every invitation, to let your energy spill without limit, to take simply because you can. And yet, chosen one, true power is not in taking, but in choosing what is worth having. A man who is ruled by his desires is no different from a leaf caught in the wind, moving aimlessly with no control over his own direction. But a man who wields his energy with wisdom, he is a force that shapes his own path. Wisdom is your shield, the invisible barrier that protects you from the consequences of reckless indulgence. It is what keeps your presence from turning into a storm that destroys everything in its wake. You must learn to see beyond the moment, to recognize that every choice you make today echoes into the future. Every glance, every touch, every word spoken in passion leaves a mark, not just on those around you, but on your own soul. To wield your energy wisely, you must first understand its effects. When you enter a space, you shift the balance. When you engage, you stir emotions. When you make eye contact, you awaken something in others that they may not even fully comprehend. Some will be drawn in, some will feel intimidated, some will seek to test you, pushing at the boundaries of your control just to see if you will break. And so, chosen one, ask yourself this: what do you wish to leave behind in your wake? There is no honor in careless conquest, no strength in taking without thought. The world is filled with men who consume and discard, who leave trails of broken emotions behind them as they move from one moment to the next. You must not be one of them. Your power is greater than that, your purpose deeper. If you are to leave a mark on this world, let it be a mark of growth, of understanding, of something lasting. Wisdom is not about denying yourself pleasure, nor is it about suppressing your desires. It is about knowing when to act and when to hold back. It is about recognizing when something serves your higher purpose and when it is merely a fleeting temptation designed to test your discipline. It is about choosing to engage only when it elevates you and those around you, rather than leaving behind emptiness. A wise man understands that not every connection must be pursued, that not every invitation must be accepted. He moves with intention, knowing that his presence is not a tool for indulgence, but a force of influence. And when he does choose to act, he does so with absolute clarity, without regret, without hesitation, because he has already considered the consequences and accepted them. The path you walk now is one that few will understand, for it is easier to take than to discern, easier to chase than to choose. But, chosen one, you are not meant to walk the easy path. You are meant to rise above. Let wisdom be your shield, let discernment be your guide, and let your energy be a force that builds, not destroys. In doing so, you will not only master yourself, you will master the world around you. The journey you are on, chosen one, is not one of isolation, though at times it may feel that way. You have spent time refining your energy, sharpening your presence, deepening your understanding of self. And now, as your power continues to grow, you will begin to notice something new: the way your energy interacts with others, the way it weaves itself into the lives of those around you. Energy is never stagnant. It moves, it shifts, it responds. The moment you enter a space, you are adding to its existing current, influencing its flow. This is where true mastery reveals itself, not in how strongly you stand alone, but in how seamlessly you coexist with the world around you without losing your sense of self. To exist in harmony with others while maintaining your own presence is an art few ever master. Many either overwhelm or fade into the background, either demanding too much space or relinquishing it entirely. But you, chosen one, must learn to walk the middle path. You must own your space without forcing others out of theirs. You must learn to be felt without dominating, to be seen without demanding, to be present without intruding. This is where awareness becomes your greatest tool. Pay attention to the subtle shifts in energy when you interact with others. Notice the way their breathing changes when you speak, the way their body language adjusts in response to your presence. Do they lean in, seeking more? Do they pull back, uncertain? Do they relax, feeling safe? Every reaction is a message, a clue to how your energy is being received. The key to coexistence is adaptability. This does not mean suppressing who you are, nor does it mean changing yourself to fit every situation. It means learning to attune yourself to the energy of the space and adjusting the intensity of your presence accordingly. A masterful presence does not feel forced. It feels natural, fluid, effortless. There will be times when your energy needs to be soft, when those around you require gentleness over intensity. There will be moments when your strength must take a supporting role, allowing others to shine rather than taking center stage. And there will be times when your energy must rise, when the situation calls for you to command the space with unwavering certainty. The true master knows which is required at any given moment. This balance is particularly important when engaging with women. Your presence is already strong, already magnetic. But the difference between attraction and deep connection lies in your ability to make a woman feel comfortable in your presence, not just drawn to it. The energy you carry must be steady, not overwhelming, must be firm, not forceful. She must feel that she can exist fully in her own energy without being overtaken by yours. This is the essence of harmony, the ability to enhance rather than overshadow, to complement rather than consume. When you exist in this space, you do not chase, you do not demand. You allow the natural flow of energy to take its course, knowing that those who are meant to align with you will do so effortlessly, without force, without struggle. The most powerful men in history were not those who dominated every space, but those who understood how to exist within it without losing themselves. They moved with intention, with grace, with an awareness that made every interaction feel meaningful. And so must you, chosen one. Let your energy be strong but welcoming. Let your presence be felt but never suffocating. Let your interactions be genuine, leaving others feeling elevated, never diminished. This is how you create harmony. This is how you move through the world, not as a force that disrupts, but as one that enhances. And in doing so, chosen one, you will not only master connection, you will master the art of existence itself. Growth is a silent force, chosen one. It does not announce itself with grand proclamations or sudden transformations. Instead, it moves in whispers, in the quiet spaces between who you were and who you are becoming. It is felt in the moments when you react differently than you once would have, when you choose patience over impulse, when you recognize patterns that once controlled you, but no longer have power over your mind. To walk this path is to live in constant reflection. It is to look back, not with regret, but with awareness. It is to see the moments where you once let your energy spill without control, where your presence was either too forceful or too withdrawn, where you allowed external validation to shape your sense of self. These are not failures, chosen one. They are lessons. And in those lessons lies the map of your evolution. You have come far. The way the world responds to you now is different from before. Where once you sought approval, now you simply exist in your power, unmoved by the need for validation. Where once you were consumed by fleeting desires, now you move with purpose, choosing what aligns with your higher path rather than what merely satisfies a momentary craving. Where once you chased, now you draw in. And those who are drawn to you now are different from those who were before. But growth is not a destination. It is not a place where you arrive and declare yourself complete. It is a process, an eternal unfolding, a continual refining of the energy you carry. Every interaction, every moment of connection, every challenge that arises is another opportunity to sharpen the blade of your awareness, to deepen your understanding, to fortify the foundation of your presence. There will be moments where you are tested, moments where the old ways call to you, where the easier path tempts you to abandon the discipline you have built. The path of growth is not without resistance, for the world around you will not always understand the depth of the energy you now carry. Some will question it, some will misinterpret it, some will try to provoke a reaction from you just to see if you are as unshaken as you appear to be. But you, chosen one, do not react. You respond, you observe. You move with the quiet confidence of one who knows that his power is not for spectacle, but for substance. You do not seek to impress, for your energy speaks louder than words ever could. You do not seek to prove, for you already know who you are. And so, let reflection be your constant companion. Let self-awareness be the mirror through which you measure your progress, not by the attention you receive, but by the way you carry yourself when no one is watching. Let your past be your teacher, your present be your proving ground, and your future be a masterpiece you are shaping with every choice you make. Growth is not in how the world sees you. It is in how you see yourself when you are alone in the silence, with nothing but your own spirit staring back at you. And if, in those moments, you can say with certainty that you are stronger, wiser, and more centered than you were before, then you are truly walking the path of mastery. There is something undeniable about a man who has mastered himself, chosen one. It is not merely in the way he walks, nor in the way he speaks. It is not just in the intensity of his gaze or the calmness of his presence. It is in the light he carries, the silent, magnetic force that draws others in without effort, without force, without need. You have walked through fire to reach this place. You have learned the art of balance, the strength of restraint, the power of presence. You have come to understand that attraction is not about pursuit, but about alignment. That true connection is not built on desire alone, but on depth. You have cultivated an energy that does not demand, but invites, that does not overwhelm, but elevates. And now, as you stand in the fullness of your presence, you realize that your journey was never just about attraction. It was never just about magnetism or influence or the way others respond to your gaze. It was about something far greater. It was about becoming a beacon, a force of clarity, of stability, of unwavering presence in a world that is chaotic and uncertain. This is where many fall, chosen one. They mistake power for dominance, attraction for conquest, influence for control. But those who walk the higher path know the truth.